how you and I happen to be sitting on this stage together. And I'm going to let the audience know, it's the very first time that I spoke to Gerald. It was very strange because it was a phone call that I got from this person who I didn't know on the end of the phone. It was during COVID, and you were trying to find your entries into the nursing homes at the time because there was such lockdowns for there. But then time moved on and the COVID care concerts took off. So Gerald, tell our audience something about the COVID care concerts, and now that have become care concerts, haven't they? They're still running.
Absolutely, yes. Well, it started in May 2020 when I ran out of Netflix, and my neighbours were asking me to play a garden concert, and so I caved in eventually because I was having a nice holiday, and then something clicked. I hadn't played for 2 months, and I saw the reaction after the 2 months we'd had, the hard 2 months. And so I gathered a few friends. We went up to Rhodes, St. John of God's Hospital, and we had a beautiful outdoor concert in May. And the service users, the staff, there was just a real light bulb moment. It was this release, because there was no live music, there was nothing happening. So from there, we ended up getting the support through county councils, Creative Ireland, Healthy Ireland, the HSE, and Blackwater Valley Opera. And I think now we've done over 1,800 concerts in 23 counties, all live, which has been fabulous. So probably when I was ringing you, I was trying to figure it all out, but we were playing right through the lockdowns. And so we saw the best and the worst of the pandemic. But one thing that shone through was the absolute incredible staff and the hardworking staff at the HSE, and the level of care and attention that was given at the most difficult of times. And it's just so lovely to see the choirs now and everybody back together singing and making music, because it is so great for our health and our well-being.
Yes, and Gerald, like, you think COVID comes, as you said, you were having a holiday or a break, and then you come into this, but then things start to open up. But you're still continuing the concerts, and I'm curious to know, with all that you do, and you are a very busy person, why you have this great interest in continuing the concerts.
Well, I have to say, this has been some of the most rewarding work I've ever done, because I've been performing with incredible world-class Irish artists. I've been playing all around the country, meeting such beautiful people, and it's, for me, it's all about equality of access, because for whatever reason, be it geography, health, or environment, sometimes people can get a little bit left behind as they age or they go into care. And my vision would be that it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, we can bring the best of arts into your lives, because we know the scientific benefits. It's every week we go out, we see. I remember very early on, there was a lady in a nursing home in Dublin, and she was very withdrawn in the chair. She was maybe in her mid-90s, and she then slowly, the posture changed. And by the time we were doing Molly Malone, she was singing all the words. And the director of nursing told us that since she'd arrived there 2 years ago, she hadn't verbally communicated with anybody in 2 years. But the music allowed her, the live music allowed her to communicate. And so that's why we continue to do the concerts, because it's so rewarding to reach the people who need it most. And it's also wonderful to see, you never know what's going on in a day in the staff's lives. They could be having a difficult day in these environments. And so for us to just pop in and play, and we get to know people, it's a really special experience.
And then, Gerald, another great highlight there in 2022 was the Gala COVID concert in the National Concert Hall. How did you feel when all that was over?
Tired.
Yes.
But I felt so grateful to have the opportunity, with the support we were given, to really show, what people had been through, because we saw it firsthand. We were probably the only live arts happening in a lot of people's lives. And we were standing outside in our tent in the rain and the snow and the cold, and then we got in and we got to meet people. But we saw the trauma that the people in care went through with the pandemic, and it's still continuing. There are still restrictions in place in many people's lives, and there's an element of trauma that will be carried over. So I'm a firm believer there's so many great arts and health initiatives in this country. The more we can do to build that up and reach people, the better.
Yeah, and indeed, that's when you mention arts and health, we definitely recognise the collaboration that we have here in the HSE now, and which really got off the ground in 2022 between Creative Ireland and the Arts Council and Healthy Ireland and the Department of Health, and working there to raise better knowledge and better involvement of arts there in relation to health. But something I'm also curious about is that you gathered great artists with you, which some of them you have here with you today. But what is it that, what do the artists get out of this as well? Or do they get something out of it that keeps them involved?
Yes, well, it's very interesting. As touring has opened back up and the concert halls have opened back up, we've retained the same high quality artists who've been with us from the beginning. And I can only speak for myself, but I know what they get out of it is a sense of doing something that is more than ourselves. It's when you go into a room and you can see if you can make a difference to someone's physical health or their mental health or their spiritual health in that 40 minutes, that's so rewarding, because it's not about us. It's not about our ego. It's not about who we are as artists. It's just, I do feel it's an important thing to be able to do, to give back to the community. And as I say, there's so many people, and it's nobody's fault they can get left behind. And so it's really important to reach everybody. And what's lovely is when you bring an artist off the telly into their living room, they get such a shock, because even if they know they might be coming, they don't expect it. And it's just so lovely, and it's intimate, and all the artists are so good at it. They're so, I suppose they're trained now really well, having gone through a pandemic and doing this. They've learned the skills or refined the skills. And so it's just lovely and we've made so many friends along the way in the care homes and the daycare centres now, and mental health and disability settings.
And it's lovely to hear you, Gerald. It was just said to me before you played that number there, The Last Rose of Spring, you're actually saying this is very special to you. So just tell our audience why this piece was just special to you there.
Yes, it was. I have been playing in health care since I was a young boy, because my family would have been tradition to do that. And that piece was actually taught to me by my uncle, Frank Patterson, the tenor. And we first played it in a care home in New York when I was 11. So it's lovely to be able to play that. And it's funny whenever I mention his name, there's still great recognition, and so it's lovely to summon his spirit.
Well, thank you, Gerald. Now, maybe you'll introduce your colleagues here that's going to take us into the next number.
Yes. Well, we're very fortunate to have some special guests here today, if you can see me. And I'm going to welcome to stage now the wonderful Mr. Jerry Fish, and he's going to tell you what he's going to sing.
Thank you very much. You're out of shot there. Hello, everybody. Happy Christmas. I'm going to do a song which I love performing, and I have to say I love being part of this whole thing. We're giving love, and that's what we do at Christmas. This is called True Friends. Day will break, stars will fall. There's always something you'll forget to say. Don't dismay. True friends never part. Time will pass, paths will stray. There's always someone who will break your heart. There's no point being cruel. True friends never part. We'll meet again. Trust me, my friend. There's no harm in goodbye. Give me your glass. Follow your heart. Wipe that tear from your eye. Time makes amends. Don't be afraid. You'll not let love pass you by. Remember this. True friends never part. Day will break, stars will fall. There's always something you'll forget to say. Don't dismay. True friends never part. We'll meet let love pass you by. Remember this, true friends never part. And we are true friends. Yes, we are true friends. Thank you. Thank you.